Let's talk shop with old school. Yeah. I pay my dues, I know the rules. Let's talk shop with old school.
Coming from the West Coast, city of Long Beach, you know it, bro. We partied on the Queen Mary, yeah, we did the most. If you wasn't from the city, then you did a ghost. The streets don't play, that's how it goes. I pay my dues, I know the rules. Let's talk shop with old school. I took no shortcuts, I'm no fool. Let's talk shop with old school. I paid the cost, I took the loss. Let's talk shop with old school. The game never comes without no pain. Let's talk shop with old school. You can't have no ups without no down. Let's talk shop with old school.
And Think Smart Publishing, that's how we roll. Old school.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I ain't been here in a minute, man. It's been a minute since I dropped something. I've been working and doing a lot of things like that, man. But I wanted to touch back in with the family, and I want to talk about some things, man. I want to talk about ops. In the black community, you know, that word ops is real. It gets used loosely. Now, sometimes your ops don't have to be a enemy. A lot of times it be your own family, man, your parents, your mother, your father. Jealousy and envy, things like that. You got to watch out for those things. Clear example on how you know if your parents is a op. They always competing with you. You know, it's like they're in direct competition with you. I don't want nothing else. I'm not in competition with my boys. I want them to over exceed me. I want them to leave me in the dust, because that would let me know I did my job correctly. And as being a parent, you find yourself accomplishing something, and your parents say something like, "Oh, I did that when I was your age. I did that." You know, they overlook it. They overlook it. Instead of giving you your props, they tell you, "Oh, I did that." You know, like basically, all right, that ain't nothing. Then when you accomplish your next feat, again, "Oh yeah, I used to. I did that too. I had opportunity to do it better, but you know, such and such and such and such." You hear that type of stuff. Just because they're your family, don't mean you need to take that. Mm-mm. Sometimes you gotta let your family kick rocks too. Make them kick rocks too. You know, they don't mean you no good. They don't mean you no good. A lot of times parents went through things and they struggled, and they know that it will be a struggle on you, but they still want you to go through it. Not as a lesson, but as a hindrance. See, it's a difference when parents want you to go through things so you can appreciate it, versus they want you to go through things to hinder you. If they can become your stumbling block, they will. I've seen it myself. Um, as far as not being happy for you, you know, you gonna see that type of stuff. But don't let that stop you in your tracks. You keep moving like soul to soul. You know, you keep on moving. Will never stop because haters are gonna hate. And a lot of times them haters are in your family. They right next to you. They share the same last name as you. You just don't be the hater on your offspring, on your seed. Never do that to your seed because your seed is whatever you didn't get to do. Always look at it like this. As a parent, you are the GPS for your son or your daughter. You're the GPS. So your job is to guide them in the right direction. Congratulate them at every point, man. Every point, because understand they having it harder than you. See now homes to purchase a home, it's almost $500,000 wherever you at. Some places it's $1 million just for a meager home. But back when my parents was coming up, $20,000, $40,000, and they'll tell you that they had it the same as you or worse than you. How? When inflation is kicking my ass right now. So be the blueprint and the GPS for your kids. Don't be the op. Don't be the ops. Don't get jealous because you didn't get as far as you thought you should have. So now when you see your son or your daughter coming up and they doing better than you, now you hate. You don't want to see nothing from them. Even your grandkids, that hate be so strong, you don't even have no love for your grandchildren. And they come from you. I hear a lot of people saying that's my legacy. No. Legacies are built. They are built. It's not your legacy just because you nutted in a woman and she had kids and then they grew up to have kids. And that has nothing to do with you if you didn't build, if you didn't put nothing into them, has nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you at all. You can't take credit for that. And deep down, you know it. A lot of men out here, the reason, and I got a lot of homeboys that don't have good relationships with their parents, mainly their fathers. Men don't have good relationships with their fathers. And when you talk to them, it's like, why, man, what's up? You know, I had a homeboy who was killed by his father. He was just that jealous of him. He was that jealous of him. He killed him. While his son, which was his grandson, in the car, he shot him. He shot him. You know, I don't want to put his name out there, but, you know, grew up in the city with me, Long Beach, California. You know, I remember I was with him and he said, man, I'm about to go see my pops. I'm going to go hang out with my pops for a minute. That's not, every young man wants to be validated by their father. You know, they want that. That's the first person that you want to make proud. But every young man, you see it, you feel it, you know, like, man, this dude don't really care about me like that. He might care because you're his son, but the love ain't there. The love ain't there. And a lot of times, a lot of us, we have to grow and have children of our own to see how we was treated, right? And a lot of times, if you take that time to reflect and look back on how you were versus how you treat your own children, you'll see a lot of neglect there. See a lot of neglect. And with that, it's like, damn, man, I thought I was loved, but I wasn't loved like this. I wasn't loved like this because the way I was brought up, I would never do that to my kid. I would never do that. And you realize that. So you make those changes. And a lot of times, you know, you might want to, you know, speak to your parents about that, but it's not even worth it because a lot of times they gonna act like it never happened, it never existed. So you just make that change for yourself, man. You make that change for yourself as a man. If you have children, just be the father that you wanted. Be the father that you wanted. That's what I did. I tried to be the father that I wanted to my kids, man. I love them in a way that I want to see them do better than me. But I give them those lessons, but I want them to do better than me. And the only way I can do that is pour into them. They're going to chew up the meat and spit out the bones. They're going to do their own thing. They're going to bump their head. They're going to, a lot of times they might not listen. But if you put it in them, hopefully they'll get it right. They'll get it right. But a lot of times your ops are, they share the same blood with you, man. And that's crazy. It's crazy because they in every family. I'm a black sheep in my family. And I love being a black sheep, man. I wouldn't want to be nothing else because I love me the most. Person asked me, they said, hey, do you ever think about killing yourself, have suicidal thoughts? I said, hell no. I love me the most. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I kill somebody else before I kill myself. Excuse my words. I hope YouTube don't flag this, but I'll unalive somebody else before I unalive myself. I'm not gonna unalive myself. I don't care how hard it get. As long as I'm breathing, I can change it. But I see a lot of blacks, man. The family thing ain't there no more. It's not there, man. That father and son love. We got a few people that do. It's out there, but it's not common. It's not common, and that's sad. It's a sad thing when you look at that because as a black man, homie, you got your son out there. Me, I want to be that granddad. Teach my kids because my grandfather taught me a lot. I know how to work on cars and work on things in my house because of him. So I want to be that to my grandkids. I want to live long enough to see them and see what I put into them. I want to be able to see exactly what it is that I instilled into my children, and then they put it into their children. That to me will be that. I mean, if I could live to see that, and that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing because my grandfather passed away before I was able to tell him, man, now I see what you was doing when you had me changing alternators on broke down cars, changing tires on broke down cars. I see what you were doing, and I viewed it as punishment as a kid, but he was teaching me to be a man at 8, 9 years old. Of course, I wanted to ride my bike. At the time, it was Atari. Atari was the game console. I wanted to play that Atari. Then the Nintendo came out. Man, I go to my grandfather's house. I wasn't doing none of that. I was being taught how to be a man because he knew at his age that, hey, when you become a man, these are things that you're going to have to do. Today, you don't see fathers teaching their sons that anymore. You don't see it. Not with us. Now, white people, yeah, they do that thing. Mexicans, they do that thing. And salute to them for that. It's us that need to get it because a lot of times, you have black people have kids when they're young. They don't really get a chance to grow up and be a kid and do the things that they wanted to do because they had kids at a young age and they had to be responsible. So in that sense, you know, they neglect that. They neglect that. So I'd say that to say, uh, be mindful of that. Be mindful of that because once that time comes and you have them kids, man, they ain't no sense in hating on them because they shining better than you did, or you see them moving in a direction that you didn't move in, or they're accomplishing things that you never accomplished. So you hate on them. No, that's not cool. That's not cool. I see that a lot. I do. Mm-hmm. I do. Envy. Envy. It's a form of jealousy. It's a form of jealousy. So, comment. Let me know. What's your relationship like with y'all parents? Are they oppy? Or they ops? You know, I had a friend of mine. She said that her mom told her to have a kid at a young age. She told her to have a kid. She said she would help her. She said she would help her. And she did little minor things, but she knew as a mom, come on, you struggle with me. Why would you tell me to have, and you know I'm gonna struggle. You don't have those types of resources to help me. You know I'm gonna go through the same thing that you went through, even worse during these times. And we got a lot of that. We do. We got a lot of that. We got a lot of that. For the most part, man, you know, men used to be men. They wanted their sons to succeed. They really did. And because in their sons succeeding, even if they didn't succeed, the fact that, hey, I know my son got out of there. I know he got it. It does something to you. And I can speak for that for myself because I really want to see my sons and my daughters, you know. Of course, they're going to have a different role, but my sons, I want to see my sons surpass me in ways that I can't even think. And I would congratulate that because I had a hand in it. A lot of you men hating on your kids because you haven't had a hand in their success and you know you didn't. That's why you hate. That's why you feel you need to compete because you know you didn't have a hand in that young man's success. But the cold thing is he still loves you and he ain't even looking at you like that. But he realizes that his dad is a hater. He knows it. Or her mother is a hater. Comment, let me know. How y'all parents doing? How's your relationship with your parents? Is it that, or do you have the type of parents that want to see you succeed and they do everything to make sure that you succeed? Comment and we gonna holler. Peace out.